Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports College Basketball, and it's episode 34 here in the series. This is the season that had no chance that, well, has a chance. We are very late into the season, just 4 games left to play. 20-5 overall, 8-4 in conference. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year after a promotion, where I had some fear of demotion. That relegation threat felt real, and yet here we are in a pretty good place, and we've got a better chance of going up than we certainly do of going down. The worst we could finish now is 8-8 in conference. So things are on the up, looking good in that department. Let's see what we have in store for these final games. First, the semifinalists for Player of the Year. The center out of Marquette is the favorite for that award. We have nobody in there this season. West Virginia coming up. They are 14-7, now 15-8. And they are pretty heavily favored in this game. Western Kentucky, after that, they are just 9-12 as of a week ago. We are looking like the favorite for that one, and we are at home. By the way, we are ranked number 20 in the nation, surprisingly. But as we build our prestige level, it's going to be easier and easier to pick up a ranking. Oklahoma, massively favored, and we are on the road, and they are better at every position but power forward. And then finally, we'll wrap up the season with Georgia State at home again. Slight, barely favored for that game, but I have not been favored for most of the games this season. Huge majority. We've only been the favorite 5 or 6 times. Yeah, and somehow we keep winning. Recruiting done for the year with Kennedy and Nicholson coming in. We do have an injury right now to James Hampton, who's got a broken arm and will be out for 23 days, but he's a limited minutes kind of guy, so not big impact to the squad. And you know what? I'm actually going to save time for postseason. So we're going to get through these 4 games one by one, check out the box scores on those, see how we wrap up the season, and then we'll save our longer played out sims for postseason play, as that's what we're about to get into. Following these 4 games, I'm definitely going to qualify for, well, I guess I still can't quite say definitely. At 8-8, we could still technically get relegated, but that's not going to happen now. We get the win 21-5, 9-4 overall. 88-81, tight contest, slight advantage in each of the halves, points in the paint, second chance points, definite advantage, fast break points, definite advantage. Game was certainly back and forth a bit. Kirkland gets player of the game with 16 points, 7 rebounds in this one. There is an injured player, and it's Joey Walter, our top guy. That's going to hurt coming up here against Western Kentucky and otherwise. But now there's no threat of relegation. Go back and check the standings here and see if there is any sort of threat. But Walter played 19 minutes before going down with his strained knee, 12 points in the game. Three blocks for Kirkland. 24 assists on the day. Nice. 12 turnovers to their 20. Both teams shooting about 50%. That's pretty amazing. Alright, so no Walter for a week could be an issue. But with that win, we are back up into the top 3 here and the automatic promotion spots, with UNLV still 1 game clear of everybody else. Us and Virginia level at 9-4, and Xavier 1 game behind at 8-5. with 3 left to play. They've lost 2 straight. We've won 2 straight to overtake them. Boy, we are having ourselves quite the contest here. You can see a whole slew of teams that are still right there in it at 7-6. And no, we are guaranteed safety now. LSU 5-8. Best they could do is 8-8. So we are not going to get relegated this season. We will at least have conference tournament to play in, and we could definitely win 2 of the 3 games remaining, though it's going to be a lot tougher without Walter. Though I wouldn't be surprised if he plays some minutes. Maybe not in this next game, as it's only a day away, but the following week I would think he'll end up playing, but just could be down 10 minutes or so from where he's normally at. Half expected that game to already be today, but it looks like it's one more day away, the 18th, yeah. So for Western Kentucky, their points leader is Rivers, 13.7. Fine, getting about 5 assists a game, and Roberts, 7.5 rebounds per game. It's decent numbers. If we can take care of business here, we'll be in a really good position with just 2 games left to go. And we do. So 10-4 in conference, 22-5 overall on the season. It is amazing how this season has gone, considering that this is supposed to be a rebuilding year, that the skill, the talent is certainly not there in the way it has been. And we see a changing of the guard. UNLV now 16th. We are 17th. Xavier drops to 19th in the rankings. And Virginia is 23rd. So all 4 teams still right there. This one, 20-point victory, 87-67. And huge first half. Second half, they actually closed us down a little bit. We led the entire game. We led by as much as 31 before they clawed back a little bit. Probably limited minutes for the starters, so some of the bench guys getting in there for a good while. Walter played just 6 minutes in this game. What a forced shooting, but he had 4 rebounds in those 6 minutes. 15 points for Lockwood off the bench. Eric Wynn had 25.6 assists, 4 rebounds, and a couple steals. Huge game for him, stepping up in the absence of team leader Joey Walter. Fleming, 7 of 10 shooting for 14 points and 8 rebounds. Really good game for him as well, though he did have 3 turnovers, which was 3 out of the 11 that we had in the game. But we outshot them 53% to 38%, and we were even 86% from the line, and nearly 50% from beyond the arc. Xavier lost their game. They lost to Butler. Oh boy. Okay, so 2 to play, and look at this. All we have to do is win 1, and we are going to get automatic promotion to Conference C, and this is the rebuilding year. Next year, we're supposed to be a better team than we are now. We've got Oklahoma up next, and they are just 6-8 in conference. The last game, was it going to be Georgia State? Yes, and Georgia State at home. So Sooners are 13-12 overall on the year, 6-8 in conference. They have they've won a single game against a top 25 opponent, beating Xavier. Georgia State, meanwhile, also 13-12, but they are 8-6 in conference. And they beat us earlier in the season. And they get us home twice. That's a strange one, but okay. They beat us 80-72 in the, I think that was the conference opener. Or at least close to it. So 2 to play. Not going to be easy. But all we have to do is win 1. 11-5 will be enough for automatic promotion. To even be in this position right now is beyond words. Really, really unexpected. I mean, I knew there was a chance that it would be okay, that we would be clear of a relegation battle. But, clear. The best I thought we could do this season was mid-table. Between the promotion to Conference D, which was going to really step up that competition level, and so many good top players, so many seniors graduating last year, and how young the team was going to be this year, and not having, the superstar 4.5 star, 5 star kind of guys, I thought for sure we were going to struggle. All right, so it's game day. We've got Oklahoma here. Can we get this win? Last road game, and no, we are still 1 shy with just 1 to play. 14-point victory for Oklahoma, as they really took care of business in the first half. We come back at them in the second, but they never trailed. They led the whole way. They completely dominated the game, at least initially, and we fought back as time went on. Kirkland, the only player in double figures, and boy, look at that. So Walter played just 15 minutes, still coming back from his injury. He's got 1 day left. We'll get him back for that final game. He had 5 fouls in those 15 minutes. Ouch. 37% from the field. They only shot 40. But they out-rebounded us by 10. We had 23 turnovers to their 15. So an area where we are almost always on top was the exact opposite today. Wynn had 6 turnovers. Kirkland had 5 turnovers. And as a team, really struggled in that department. Blocks were +1. Steals were -4. Fouls, actually, even though Walter had 5, we weren't beyond them, but we only had 10 assists in the game. So Wynn just struggled to move the ball, and we struggled to grab the rebounds. It looks like they got a lot of offensive rebounds as well. So 1 to play. Where does that put us? UNLV is clear. We're not going to win the regular season title. Virginia, they have secured promotion now. And we are down to 2 contenders, Florida State and Xavier. So Florida State and Xavier still have the chance of getting the automatic promotion spot away from us. And now we have Georgia State, who at 13-13, 8-7, are mid-table and have been eliminated, though they are also not going to run the risk of being relegated. So they don't have much to play for other than pride. They are 0-11 on the road this season. We are 15-2 at home this season. I like our chances, but Florida State and Xavier, we'll see who they are up against. Let's look now while we still can here, while it's fresh on the mind. So Xavier has LSU at home. Florida State on the road at Virginia. So Xavier, the main one to watch out for. And then I have no idea if we're going to have a tiebreak over them or not. If it comes down to it, they win their game, we lose our game. But Joey Walter will be coming back from his injury and be back to full minutes here with his strained knee. Hopefully cleared off the list by this next day's date. And there it is. He's back. Just in time. We need him for this one. So 10-5 in conference. Like I said, 11-5 will be enough. I think Florida State is going to go down to Virginia most likely. But Xavier's got a really good chance against LSU, who's at the relegation zone. And they're at home. So, last game of the regular season. Automatic promotion place on the line for this one. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, we lost. We lost. Injured player again. Nick Few, strained calf. And Xavier won their game. Florida State did lose. So, it's us and Xavier. Did we lose by 1 point? We lost by 1 point. Halftime lead. Not very many changes. We led by 13. They never led by more than 3. That's the kind of loss that hurts. Ed Anderson, their center, had 16 rebounds in this one. And, of course, our backup to our players down low, Kirkland and Walter, so the guy who would have also been helping strain calf for Nick Few. So that hurts. Because there is no further backup really to that. And you could see Nick Few, 1 of 6 shooting, just 4 rebounds, 4 fouls, and a -12, while everybody else was pretty balanced. And most of the starters had a positive, plus-minus. So I'm wondering how much Nick's injury impacted that result and that loss at the end. Remember, we were up 8 at the half, and it was late on. I don't know where that happened in the timeline on the game, but he definitely wasn't the only one who struggled. Russell, 1 of 6. The only one with double-digit attempts was Jack Lockwood. Pulled a Kobe Bryant and went 3 of 11. %32 from the field. They were 29.8% from the field. Both teams, 57% from the line, but they got 35 attempts to our 21. Jeez. -10 on rebounds again for us. That was an ugly game. Ugly game. Look at their starters. 1 for 7, 1 for 8, 1 for 5. How did we lose this game? Why? Because one guy got 16 rebounds. That had to be it. And 13 free throw attempts. So it literally was all him, Ed Anderson. Well, let's see how it shows up. They're showing us above Xavier. We did beat them head-to-head, didn't we? At Xavier, and we won. Yeah, so I think we have the tiebreaker over Xavier. But I'm not sure. We'll see. We do have a first-round bye. We should be, let's see, top 4 teams. And then you would have USC and Auburn will go against the 4 seed. If they go up against... So if we get Florida State or Wichita State, so FSU or Wichita State, that'll mean we've got the automatic spot still. Pushing to March. Things are about to get mad. Conference D leaders. Let's see. We've got nothing. Steals, Kirkland, 1.9 per game. And blocks, Walter, 1.7 per game. Remember, Nick Few is going to be out here, as well as James Hampton. So my 2 backups in the post are out. And that's really going to hurt us here going forward. But losing both of those games in the final week hurt. Somehow we're still ranked 19th. Xavier pushes back above us, though. Still pushing towards it. Again, I'm looking for FSU, Wichita State. If I get the winner of that game, then that would mean automatic promotion. Thanks to a tiebreaker over Xavier. Top 25 ranking means absolutely nothing. They are 1 spot above us, but
you have new
players declared for the draft. I don't expect anything on this, but we'll check. You never know. Finalists. Still the center from Marquette, the favorite for the award, and no one's declared for the draft. That is good. Conference tournament time. Nick Few will be back for postseason tournament, whatever tournament we may get into, at 22-7. We've got a pretty decent chance of getting into the NCAA tournament, but certainly not guaranteed at 22-7. I mean, we went 2-2 in the final 4 games. UNLV ranked 15, Xavier's ranked 17. We're at 21st. Virginia knocked out of the rankings. Okay, so these matchups are the ones that were predicted. Could it be? Could it be? Oh, and look at that. Nick Few is back to full strength just in time. Okay, so Wichita State upset Florida State. Auburn upsets USC. Oklahoma over Georgia State. We got West Virginia, the only one to hang on to beat Butler of the higher seeds on that. So we get strange matchups here. Strange matchups. Not the expected matchups. Oklahoma, where were they? Oh, wait. 1. Yeah, they shouldn't get 4. They should. 4 byes. West Virginia should be getting the 4 seed. Georgia State. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, I did this wrong. Georgia State, Oklahoma should be getting the 3 seed. And there they are. And yes, that is us. West Virginia and Xavier, right? There it is. Okay, we are the 3 seed. So we we got the promotion after all. We've got Oklahoma here coming up, and they are heavy favorites for this game. But I've won a lot of games where I was not the favorite. This is neutral territory, not at home though, and that should give them an advantage. We've been a good home team this season. We've been an okay road team. This is not the game to play out. It's the tournament stuff that I'm more interested in. I don't think we're going to win the Conference D tournament, but we've got an automatic promotion, and that's the part that counts. So we will definitely have postseason tournament. I just don't know what postseason tournament. And it's not going to be the conference one. Xavier lost as well, actually. So post-game incident report. Oh my goodness, that is the first time I've ever had this. Post-game incident report. Coach, I think you need to know about something that happened after you left the locker room. A couple of guys came to me and said that Jack Lockwood was mouthing off about LaShawn Russell. He was saying the usual stuff about how you don't like him and we would be so much better if you played him instead. Leave it up to you to handle this one, but be careful. This probably won't be the only instance like this. It's been the only one I've ever had. I've had preseason stuff. I've never had an incident during the season. Interesting. Let's get back out there and see what happened in the loss here. So, UNLV beats Auburn. Wichita State upsetting Virginia. West Virginia upsetting Xavier. And it looks like we lost by 3 to Oklahoma after a comfortable halftime lead. We dropped 14 points in the second. And they never led by more than the 3 that they finished the game by. There was plenty of back and forth in the game, though. Emory just 1 point, 0 for 5 shooting. Seriously, dude? Walter, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 5 fouls. Terrible day for him. Kirkland, 11 points. Only 1 rebound on the day for our center. And only played 21 minutes. And only had 2 fouls. But no injury. That's a curious one. Especially with a plus-minus of 11. Russell was 2 for 10. He had a terrible day. So I can see why somebody mouthed off to him. But he's been one of our leaders throughout the year. So I think one bad game does not make him a scapegoat. Lockwood, again, did have a good day off the bench, and he's had a lot of good days off the bench. And he does play behind him, so I could see where Lockwood was coming from. 8 minutes, he scored 11 points. But part of that's where he's at in the unit. Makes a big difference. 35% from the field. That hurts. That hurts a lot. 27 fouls, though. That's just stupid. Minus 10 on rebounds again. We've been really bad on rebounding lately. Alright, well, like I said, conference tournament wasn't happening anyway. As it looks like Xavier is not going to get promotion this season. And it's going to come down to either West Virginia, Oklahoma, or Wichita State. I would put my money on either Wichita State or Oklahoma, whoever wins this game, and then loses to UNLV in the championship. That's my guess. We'll see if I'm accurate about that. Which would be Oklahoma upsetting Wichita State, and yes, UNLV crushed West Virginia. So Oklahoma is the deepest into the tournament outside of the top 3 teams. And so there you have it. Speaking of ranked teams, we've dropped to 24th now with our 22-8 record. Not looking so good on that front. Xavier 19th, UNLV up to 14th. Good conference representation, and somehow we're about to move up to Conference C. Meanwhile, though, best record in the land, Michigan State Spartans at 30-2. A couple games better than number 2 ranked North Carolina, and that appears to give Michigan State the favorability in the tournament coming up. Stanford, number 5, but I could very well see them getting a number 1 ranking with a 28-3 record. Duke, 26-3, right there as well. If anybody should drop to a 2 seed, it should be Syracuse, but we'll see if that actually happens. Conference championship goes to UNLV, and a very deserving UNLV who's been a step above everybody else throughout the season. On to the selection show. Let's see, 22-8 record. I should get in, but a terrible showing in the conference tournament. I've lost 3 straight games. We'll definitely be in a tournament. I'm not convinced that we'll be in the NCAA tournament. We're not in a play-in game. All right. North Carolina with a 1 seed. Stanford with a 2 seed. They're going to be the best of the 2 seeds. Niagara into the tournament. Rare sight. Duke with a 1 seed. There's UNLV with a 4 seed. Xavier gets a 5 seed, so those two are going to play each other in that next round if they both win. Virginia is in the tournament as an 8 seed. If Virginia is in with a 19-9 record, I should be in too. There's Michigan State, number 1 seed. Louisville, a 2 seed. And there we are, a 5 seed. We get a play-in winner. So we got in, and we got in with a decent seed, a 5 seed. That should hopefully be good enough to get us at least into the second round. So we got in. We got in. Even Wichita State got in. 9 seed. USC got in as a 13 seed. Okay. Apparently it wasn't as hard to get in as I thought, as quite a few teams were selected. And I suppose we are now high enough to where you should be getting about 6 teams per conference at our level. I mean, it is Conference D. I mean, it's the 4th best conference in the nation. So we should be getting about 6 teams in. Next year we go up to the 3rd best conference in the nation, so we should be getting about 7 teams into the tournament. So, still ranked. We're in the tournament. We've got a 5 seed with a rebuilding squad. If we can at least get to the second round, maybe we can even squeeze our way into the 3rd round, into the Sweet 16. That would be a really good year. All right, so Bryant, Butler in the CIT. And they win their first round. Oklahoma in the NIT. That sucks for them. They get all the way to the conference championship game, but only get into the NIT. But they should be getting promoted, even though they have a 17-14 record, which means we should have somebody easy in the conference next year. Of course, I have no idea how they're going to be next year versus this year. But Georgia State also in the NIT. Our RPI has slipped a bit with these recent losses, down to 30. They both win. Butler second round. We're going to get Iowa State. We get Iowa State. 18-12 for the Cyclones. Carey's getting 13 a game. Their top assist guy is just 3.5, and Carey gets 7.7 on the rebounds. VCU losing, so Butler on to the third round. And here we go. Tournament primary rounds. Technically first round underway. UNLV, Xavier, Virginia, and so 3 games plus second round games for these guys. And we'll be playing tomorrow. Alright, so UNLV drops a game. Texas, El Paso moving on. Wow, Xavier win there, so. Virginia just beating out the Ohio State Buckeyes in that 8-9 matchup. 2-point victory for them. Fresno State knocking off Oklahoma, so they're out. Georgia State just beating Louisiana Tech to stay alive. Okay, on to our day. We're going to look at the scouting report before we go in, but we are up against the 12th seed through the play-in, Iowa State. Florida State at Iowa. So they got into the tournament as well, huh? And Wichita State at UCLA. And then USC at Georgia Tech. So a lot of representation at Auburn with New Mexico. So actually that's more teams than I thought. That's what, 7? 7 teams in the tournament? Are you not going to give me a scouting report for Iowa State? Wow. Okay. Thanks. Okay, now looking at my time frame, I have enough time to do 1 game live. I'm going to hope that we can beat Iowa State, get into the next round, and then we'll air that game. So I hope I'm not wrong here that we're going to take care of business against Iowa State. Please, oh please, don't let me down. We have had 3 straight losses, but we've bounced back. We got the win here. 88-73, 15-point victory, 10 points in the first half to stretch that lead out even further in the second. Points in the paint, totally dominant. Fast break, totally dominant. And let's see, Emory had 12 points, 5 of 11 shooting, 6 rebounds. Walter had 16 and 8 of 10 from the line. Only 3 rebounds though. Kirkland only had 3 rebounds. Quiet day for those guys. Russell had 9 points. 4 steals, 5 turnovers, 4 fouls though. That's bad. Wynn had 8 assists, 11 points, plus 12. Good day for him. Fleming Lockwood, good scoring production off the bench. Lockwood played 29 minutes. Russell playing 16. We've got Texas Tech up next, who are actually ranked 16th in the nation and a 4 seed, and are 23-8. Let's see. Meanwhile, everybody else, Florida State out. Wichita State knocking off UCLA. USC is out. And Auburn is out. So we're one of only a handful of teams left. One of 4 teams left in the tournament for our conference. Virginia an 8 seed, so they've got to take on the 1 seed of Duke. And Xavier beating Texas El Paso, who UNLV could not beat. So it took the conference 2 attempts to beat them, but they did get them in the end. And Virginia knocked off by the number 1 seed and number 4 ranked Duke Blue Devils. So Wichita State now have to take on the number 1, should have been number 1 overall, but no. North Carolina somehow steals that away. And then we've got Texas Tech in a 4-5 matchup. And this time they decided to give me a scouting report. Conference B, top team Texas Tech, and we have an 11% chance. They have the advantage at every single position. Good luck to us. I better get into that game straight away, as I am very much down on time, and I'd also like to see what's going to happen with the tournament itself, and we've still got some rounds to play, so we're going to do some quick simming here. I have a feeling we're going to get beat, and beat bad. We already trail 4-0. On board here finally. Will we have any lead? Well, we've leveled the score again at least, so we have a lead in this game. In fact, we are up 8-4 there for a moment, as we had rattled off 8 straight points. Now 12-6. Off to a good start here for the team. Points coming between Emory, Walter, and Kirkland early on. We've already got 4 steals in the game as well. Now we've got a nice little lead going in this game, 21-13. Get 1 of 2 on that. Stretch the lead slightly. 6-point lead here, halfway through the first half. Got more free throws. Most of the points recently coming from the free throw line for either team. We are shooting 50% from the field. They are shooting 26% from the field right now. But they are 9 of 10 from the free throw line, which is helping to keep them in the game. Just 1 of 8 beyond the arc for them, 1 of 5 for us. That is 33-20 with 5 to play in the first half. Go ahead and use a 30-second timeout there. Try to take away the momentum that they were slowly building. And the lead is shrinking. It's down to 4 as they just made a 3-pointer. We finally get one back, and with a 3-pointer of our own. Both teams now with 3 makes beyond the arc. We're shooting 52% from the field. They're just 35% from the field, but that's a lot higher than that 25 they were at here just recently. And as we approach halftime, the lead is down to 2 points. We grab 1 more bucket at the buzzer to make it 44-40 at the half. And let's get straight back into the second half here. Keep this thing moving along. Lockwood has 7 points off the bench. Walter has 6 points, but he's got 4 fouls, so he's sitting on the bench to start the second half. Nick Few has 3 points. Thomas has 3 fouls. When did you even play, Kirk Thomas? You have like 1 or 2 minutes in the game, you come out and just foul. Everybody on the court right now has 1 foul. Nobody in double digits yet, but Kirkland has 9 points as we do our first round of subbing, and we trail. We have not scored here in the second half yet, and it's a 9-0 run for them. I need to use a timeout here, and there we go. Finally, our first score of the second half. But all of a sudden, we trail by 8 points as the Raiders are going Warrior style on us and making a big run. We trail by 12, just like that. back into it a little bit here, but a 9-point deficit with 10 to play is going to be difficult to overcome. We do have some momentum finally. Rebounding, -2. Turnovers, -3. Field goal percentage has really leveled off. Free throw percentage has settled down a little bit. Both teams shooting better beyond the arc. So they've shot the ball better here in the second half. We've shot the ball worse in the second half. But now, with a little momentum, we've leveled the game and actually have a lead with 6 to play. They've got the momentum back, though. And we have a 1-point lead. 4 to play. We'll slow down here in a little bit, but 76-73, now 75. All right, slow down to 9. Ooh, we fouled him right at the rim, but he missed both free throws. And we make both of ours, so it's 79-75, 3 minutes to play. I've got 2 timeouts left. I was tempted to use one, but now we have the momentum. And big bucket there. It's a 2, but it's... or was it a 3? Ooh, a steal and a quick fast break. Dunk puts us up 8 with 2 minutes to play. May really slow down the last 2 minutes. Another make there, and we're up 10. We've got a great chance now to get to the Sweet 16. Up 10 with 1:42 to go. Can we get a stop on this possession? I think that'll just about seal it. There's the miss. We got the rebound. We're down to the other end of the court, moving the ball. There's the foul. We go to the free throw line. We make the first. Russell misses the second, though. But their quick shot was a miss, and we got the rebound. Another foul. This time Russell makes both, and it's 88-75. Lots of momentum, and it looks like we've got this game in the bag. Under a minute to play. That is finally a make for Texas Tech. We inbound, we get the ball up the court. 48 seconds and counting. Missed shot early in the... Why? Why would you do that? Ooh, steal. We got the steal. Intercepted the pass down low. Open the ball. Again, we take a shot early in the clock. What are you doing, guys? 90-77, though. Missed shot. Rebound. This should just about do it. Come on. Run the clock out. 90-77. There it is. End of the game. Oh, even a shot at the end. 92-77. His final rebounds +1. Turnovers +2. So we settled those down. Field goal percentage went back up over 50% there at the end. So their shooting percentage didn't really change, but ours went up. So did our free throw percentage and attempts, as they fouled us a lot in the final couple minutes. A lot of guys into double digits. Leading scorer, Eric Gwynn, with 17. He also had 5 turnovers in the game. Ouch. But we got the win, and we're into the Sweet 16. Injured player Thomas Fleming off the bench. Bruised calf. Rough year for him. Michigan State beat Wichita State, and the day before, Xavier won. So Xavier and us, last 2 teams from Conference D in the tournament. Butler still alive in the CIT. They lost to Utah, though. Georgia State in the NIT still alive. They've got College of Charleston. It flashed by too quick. I didn't see it. Let me see. They are out. Next up, the 1 seed. We've got Michigan State. They were number 1 in the nation. Definitely think we're going down in that one. Duke, Xavier.
You have new mail.
Xavier's out. And Conference A, Michigan State. Again with an 11% chance. Again with a deficit everywhere. But also, again, with I don't have enough time. So let's see them knock us off. And 19-point victory for them. They controlled the game throughout. Put up a decent showing, it looks like. Maybe. 14 points for Russell. 11 for a few. we're down. We're out of the tournament. But we got to the Sweet 16. Purdue knocked off Duke to get into the Final Four. So, North Carolina also in. Michigan State in. Syracuse is in. So 3-1 seeds. Duke the only one to get knocked off. And they get knocked off by Purdue. So top teams into the Final Four around the country. Into April. Long tournament this year, apparently. I'm already over on time. We've got 3 game results to see. Hurry up. Head it up, would ya? There we go. Michigan State beating Syracuse. The other game flashed by too quick. But 81-74 for Michigan State. So they're into the championship game. And they will play against somebody. It's North Carolina. North Carolina beating Purdue 85-72. So both games similar score lines. And we've got the top 2 teams in the nation to play it out in the national championship. And here we go. There's that game. It is North Carolina. So apparently they got that promotion to the 1 seed somehow justified on the final day of the season to overtake Michigan State because they were the better team. 83-62 the final. It is North Carolina, the what's the date? 2026 champion, national champion over Michigan State. And let's look at the conference awards here to wrap up the episode. I'll skip the recap and just go straight to it. Conference D, I don't think we're going to have anyone. Xavier's player, their center. Oklahoma's shooting guard gets freshman of the year. Defensive player of the year, again, the same guy who got player of the year. I got coach of the year. Yay, me. First team all conference. The freshman out of Oklahoma. Wainwright, of course, and then Phillips. Second team all-conference. Anybody there? Probably not. This was a team effort this season. No, Joey Walter does make it onto the second team all-conference. And that's all the awards. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.